Thank you. As perhaps many of you know, one of the problems District 3 has, and it's common to all the districts in North America for Toastmasters, is membership. Now, it was a hot and sultry day in early May when I presented a speech in front of Think Tank Toastmasters advocating a simplified, simpler system of doing things as opposed to the present system of doing speechcraft. So if we can do that properly, if we can get more clubs involved, we can have more stronger clubs in Toastmasters District 3. And to do that, I provided some documents of how to do it. First of all, an instruction, because typically clubs that do speechcraft for the first time don't know how to do it, and they're afraid to do it. So we have some instructions. We have a press release. We have a welcome packet, all in electronic form, plus a 5 to 8 week agenda plan and agendas, special 3 speech assignments, even educational speeches provided, a participant mentor list, and other forms that we can use. The first speechcraft instructions include instructions for everything: the news release, how to publicize, getting the participant mentor list. All these things are provided in this instruction document. The next step is publicity templates. Get the word out. You have flyers. If we have a sample email, if you're a company club, you can arrange for HR to send your email around so that people know this speechcraft anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks exists. And once people get in, you call it a workshop. So, because nobody knows what the word speechcraft means except for those who've been in Toastmasters for quite a while. You take the 5-week templates in the workshop, and basically you fill out a Toastmaster agenda. And after the first week, you get your participants involved. They start doing things like their first speech. Then they do their first evaluation of another speaker. They do the roles in the meeting, like timer, counter, and so on. And so that's essentially what they do, is all the steps you see every week in your Toastmaster meeting. Simple, is it not? They're getting exposed to Toastmasters, the best part of Toastmaster. Each participant gets assigned a mentor. The mentor is someone in the club who is going to help that participant get along in the workshop. And that mentor can be someone like Don Griffith, who's been in Toastmasters for many years, or it could be someone like Mark or Samantha, who's only been in for a few months. Even if they've only done a couple of speeches, they're still farther ahead of participants who have never done a speechcraft or a Toastmasters meeting. You have welcome packets that are prepared. Basically, we do it for our guests, and essentially in a workshop, you do it for your participants. Give them all the materials they need, explain the rules, explain the process, and give them their first speech assignment so they are ready to go when they're in the workshop. There's even a name tag template. The last time we did a speechcraft in East Valley Echoes, we had name tag templates for our participants. And we have the final workshop meeting. What happens to get that 4th or 8th week meeting? It's the final meeting of the workshop. What do you do? First of all, you give them certificates announcing the completion, and they're nice certificates. We have sample ones in electronic form, and it makes them feel good. They get recognition. We get recognition of the mentors and participants. And finally, and most importantly, you charge them $20 for the workshop and tell them if they sign up as a member in Toastmasters, that $20 will be applied to their membership. And that's the way you bring in new members to each club. And by building the club membership base, you build the club itself. And if all the clubs in Toastmasters are doing this, we'll have more and stronger clubs. And then finally, the last thing, a thing that most clubs forget, once they successfully completed a workshop, They need to report it. They need to give an evaluation, and they inform the Speechcraft chair, the district leaders like the program quality director, the district director, and even the club growth director, and also the division director and area director. Let them all know. And we have the evaluation forms for improvement the next time. So that's the membership building plan. Now I've given this speech before a think tank. My plan is to follow through with a committee to go through these documents because they all have the Toastmasters emblem on them. They all have the club name on it. We want to make it more generic. I talked to David Hopper, who is the Club Growth Chair in District 3 last night. He's all in favor of this, but we have some obstacles. First of all, we have to go through this. I'm going to do a high performance leadership, and we have to get buy-in from world headquarters. Why do you think that would be? Because we're using the Toastmaster name. And the proposal is to replace printed materials from Toastmasters with this all-complete electronic form. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about this? Samantha?
Most of my Toastmaster guests have come because I made the executive decision not to give out my chess card anymore, but to write my name and number on the Toastmasters card, which I have run out of, and if I have more, I can bring more. But that was key. I gave them the card, they came to the thing. I really believe in that little tiny card.
That's part of the solution, and I just want to remind you, we only have about 200 more left in the lectern, so don't leave today without getting some more. Kathy?
Yeah, on the publicity part of it, getting the word out to, I'm going to say the public. What is your best suggestion for getting the word out to non-Toastmasters?
If you're a company club, it's easy. You get buy-in from your HR department. If you can do that, you can send out what I call a blanket email. We already have a sample prepared in the kit. If you're a community club like this one, it's a little harder. How do you get that word out? And my solution to that is go online and have flyers ready and the information ready. I did this several months ago. I sent information to the city of Chandler. Did you know they have their own website there, and they posted it. And I sent it to the Santan newspaper. And our district director at the time gave Carl a call because he was president of East Valley Echoes at the time and said, "Oh, this is wonderful. My wife saw this in the Santan newspaper." And it's great that you're doing a Speechcraft. So basically, print flyers, get them posted wherever you can, go online and post that information whenever and wherever you possibly can, because that's the key, is getting the word out so you get more people coming in. Yes, Randy?
I don't think it's going to work, Jeff. We're going to go to all that effort of holding a Speechcraft and nobody will join. What's the point?
I'm glad you asked that, because it works.
For nothing.
What if we had a Speechcraft and only one person showed up? That happened to me about 10 years ago. One person showed up. It was a club that only had 6 members, and we weren't in a good location. But one person showed up, and we did the Speechcraft for that one person. It was a gentleman who worked at On Semiconductor. And he liked it. He joined the club. And then the next idea is, why don't we have a demonstration meeting and do a workshop at On Semiconductor in one of their conference rooms? On Semiconductor at that time had just had a club that disbanded. But we did that. We had 20 people show up for the workshop, and almost all of them joined. And ever since then, On First Toastmasters has been a strong club. They always have 20 or more members. And that's because of that first Speechcraft that had only one member. Any other questions? One time for only one more. Yes, Mark.
Mark Robleski. Mr. Morud, thank you for your presentation. As a new Toastmaster, and you stated in your speech, Speechcraft, I think I've kind of extrapolated what this is, but what are we giving them? someone that attends, what are they expected to get out of this? Like normally there's a goal. At the end, I am going to be a better speaker. I'm going to be able to give a better presentation. What skill sets are they getting? And what's going to drive them there? Kind of going on.
What usually drives them there is the fact that they can do some speeches and they're not making a long-term commitment. It's only for 4, 5, 8 weeks at the most. And the cost is low, only $20. So they're going to get the experience. And it turns out many of them that have that experience enjoy it and join the club. Our time is up, and that concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.